Hi friends, Sunil here. Welcome back to this channel. In the previous videos we have learned about inheritance in Python. In this video we are going to discuss multiple inheritance. In multiple inheritance, a subclass is derived from more than one base classes. Here the subclass C is derived from the base classes A and B. So C will inherit all the properties of the base class A and B. These A and B are also called as superclasses. So when a class inherits the feature of more than one class, it is known as multiple inheritance. Here in our example, I am taking two base classes. The first one is student PCM marks for the details of student and the marks of subject physics, chemistry and maths. And the other base class is this computer science marks for the marks of computer science. Then we have this derived class result, which is derived from both these base classes. Now we will go to the program. So here I am defining the base class student PCM marks. That is this. Then in the class, this is the constructor for that class. Parameters are roll number, name and the marks of the three subjects, that is physics, chemistry and maths. Then in this class we are having this method display roll number name, which will display the roll number and name of the student. Then we have display marks, which will display the marks of physics, chemistry and maths. Then in the other base class, that is computer science marks, that is this class, this is the constructor. The parameter is the mark of computer science. And here also we are having the method display marks, which will display the marks of computer science. Then here we are defining this class result, which is the derived class. It is derived from both these base classes, student PCM mark and computer science marks. So it is a derived class. Then here I am having this variable total marks for accumulating the marks, and I am initializing it with value 0. And this is the constructor for this class result. Then we have this method for this result class, display total marks method, which will calculate the total marks and print the total marks. After that it will print the average of the total marks. Then here I am creating an object R of the class result. I am creating an object R of the derived class result. This object R will have access to the members of both the base classes. So when this object is created, the constructor is executed and these parameters are passed to the base class student PCM mark. So it will pass the roll number, name and the marks of the three subjects. And after that it will execute this constructor of the computer science marks and pass the computer science marks, that is 95, here as a parameter. Then after creating this object, then here in this print statement I am using this function heap subclass. Just for display purpose I am checking whether result is a subclass of student PCM mark and result is a subclass of computer science mark, which is true because result is derived from both these classes. So it will print true here. Then using this object, R, I am calling the display roll number name method, that is this method here, which will display the roll number and name of the student. Then I am calling the display marks method of the class student PCM marks. I am calling the display mark method of this base class student PCM mark using this object R. So it will call this display marks here and print the marks of physics, chemistry and maths. Then after that I am calling the display marks method of the computer science marks base class using this object R of the derived class. So it will display marks of computer science. Then using the object R, I am calling the method display total marks. So here it will calculate the total mark, that is the marks of physics, chemistry, maths and computer science. Here through this instance of the class, that is through R, through the object of the derived class result, I am accessing the values of the data members in both the base classes. That is, this physics, chemistry and maths are from the base class student PCM mark, and computer science marks are from the base class computer science marks. So from both the classes I will access the values of the marks and calculate the total mark, then print the total mark and then the average. So we'll run this. So it has returned true. Result is a subclass of both these classes. Then it has displayed the roll number and name. It has called the function and displayed the roll number and name of the student. That is this function. Then after that, it has called the method display marks of the student PCM marks base class and displayed the marks of physics, chemistry and maths. That is, it has displayed this display marks physics, chemistry and maths. Then it has called the display marks of the base class computer science mark, that is this display mark, and it has displayed the mark of computer science. Then it has called the method display total marks and printed the total marks, and total marks divided by 4, that is the average it has printed. So we have seen how the child class result has inherited the methods and attributes from both the base classes and accessed them for calculating and displaying the student details. Now we will see some conflicts and complications of multiple inheritance. So here I am having 3 classes, class A, class B and class C. All the 3 classes are having the method getName, and this method returns the name. So here in the constructor of class A, I am assigning the string Tom to the variable name, and in the constructor of class B, Jack is assigned to name. Then this class C is inherited from class A and class B. That is, C is a derived class. It is derived from superclass A and superclass B. And this is the constructor for class C. And here I am creating an object D of class C. After that, using the object, I am calling this method getName, which will return the name, and the name will be printed here. So when this object is created, when the object of class C is created, it will execute the constructor of class C, And when the constructor of class C is executed, it will first call the constructor of class A. So the value of name in C becomes same as the value of name in A. That is, the value of name in C will become Tom. But after that, when the constructor of B is called here, when the constructor of B is called, the value of name in C, which is now Tom, will be overwritten by the value of name in B, which is Jack. So the value of name in C will be overwritten with the value of the name in B, that is Jack. So Jack is getting printed instead of Tom, because the name attribute of C retains the value of B, and so Jack is printed here. Now we will see some other examples. Here I am having class A and I am assigning 4 to VAR. To variable VAR I am assigning 4 here. In class B 2 is assigned to VAR, and in class C 5 is assigned to VAR. This class P is a child class, and class A, B and C are superclasses. So P is a child class which is derived from this superclass A, B and C. And here I am having this statement pass, means it will do nothing. Then here I am printing P.var. So what will happen is, the value in the first class, that is A. The first class is A, second class is B, the third class is C. So the value in the first class A will be passed to the child class P, and that value will be printed. When you are printing P.var, the value in A will get printed. The value in A is 4. We'll run this. So it has printed 4, which is the value in A. Now if I change this, say A to C, and this is, so now the first superclass is C. So the value in C is passed to P, and that value will get printed. So the value in P is 5. So it will print 5. We'll run this. So it has printed 5. Now method resolution order, MRO. This MRO plays an important role in multiple inheritance, as single method may be found in multiple superclasses. So here we are having the same method in superclass A, that is display message. In B also we are having the same message. So here I am calling the method display message, and this is the child class P. So Python will first look for the method in the current class, that is P, and it will print this message, that is message in P. We will run this. So the current class is P, it has printed the message in P. Now if I comment this, then it will not find the method here. It will go to the display message of class A, which is the first superclass here. So here the first superclass is A, the second one is B. So it will look for the first superclass, display message in the first superclass A. So it will print message in A. We'll run this. So it has printed the message in A. So now if I interchange this, say I make it B, I make it A here. This time the first superclass is B. In the list the first superclass is B. So B, class B, the display message of class B will be executed now. So display message of class B is executed. It will go from the order of left to right. Now to get the MRO of a class, we can either use the method, this MRO method, or we can use this MRO attribute. First we will use this MRO method and print the MRO of the class. Run this. So this is the MRO of the class. This is the child class. Then since B is the first class here, so that will come first here. Then after that the class A. So if I change it back to A, the first class here will be after the child class, the first class will be A here. So now after the child class, it has printed A here. So the same result we can get by using this MRO attribute. Run this. So it has printed the same order. So that's all about Python multiple inheritance. Hope you like this video. If you like this video, share it with your friends and don't forget to subscribe for future videos like this. Thanks very much.